he hates school. He's pretending he's going to school, but he's not going. He's off smoking pot with his friends. He's telling us lies about where he is on the weekend, so just so he can go and hang out with his mates and drink and come home. And we know that he's lying. And we raise our voice at him and yell and, why are you doing this? Why? You've got to change your behavior. You've got to stop doing this rubbish. You've got to concentrate on school, and you've got to get a job, and you've got to all these doing things, zero feeling things, because that's not somewhere I could go. And kind of worked out that he can go and do whatever he wants to do, come home, take just sit there and take yelling for what could be an hour that gets louder and louder and louder, and he doesn't say anything. He's just got his straight face on, and he just waits till the yelling's finished, and he goes to his room, and nothing changes. And this pattern just gets played over and over and over. And it was getting more regular, and the police were involved. It was kind of amping it up.
Yeah.
And I was getting angrier.
Like you and your husband are just really, really frustrated and angry.
Yeah.
And and the more he behaves in a way that you don't like, the angrier and more frustrated you get.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So then you told me you all went off to the psychologist, all three of you, and you stepped into his office, and what happened?
Oh gosh, never would I recommend the way that we did it. So the psychologist, so there's the three of us there. My son is in the middle between us, and first my ex-husband speaks, and it's basically a barrage of criticisms of my son and his behaviors. And this went on for what felt like a very long time, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And it's kind of, I think Tom was angry sitting in he was angry before we went. In fact, I don't know how we got him to agree to come, but anyway, we were there. And then the psychologist asked me, what about you, Jo? What do you think about all of this? And I said, I just want a way for us all to move forward together, for us to be okay with one another again. And shortly, so he said, okay. And shortly after that, my ex-husband and I left the room. And then it's my son is in there with him. And the big thing is that it was all about sending him there to fix him. And when I said earlier, I would never go about it that way again or recommend that, because there was so much turmoil deep inside of me around our marriage breaking down, and there's so much other stuff going on. And I think we'll talk about this later too. Part of the challenge with my son is that I feel like we made him the scapegoat so that we didn't have to face our own troubles in our marriage.
Yeah, and you just none of this was conscious to Jo at the time. I mean, she was just doing the best she could.
Things got worse at home, and
Tom's going out at night. He's not coming home when you've asked him to come home. He's doing more drugs. He's doing more drinking more alcohol. He's doing all sorts of things that you don't agree with.
Yeah, and a big one for a lot of parents. So no school's falling away, but there's no job either. So I come from a background where you're either going to school or you go to work. The most powerful help that I did receive, which was probably the most difficult as well, was when I went to an EFT practitioner, and I started in on Tom, big stories about my son and why can't he change? He's doing this, he's doing that. And she would always bring it back to, what about you, Jo? what's going on inside you? What are you feeling? I didn't even know what she meant by that. Like when she said to me, what are you thinking? I could get there. But I'm already furious. I'm already really angry, really frustrated. And the anger went to an even new level when she suggested that my challenges, my problems were more about me than about my son.
Yeah. So that was kind of the major turning point.
Yes. Well, now our relationship is great. We can be in one another's company, and we can be ourselves, and we can talk to one another. We can have strong differences of opinion and still express those to one another, and neither of us feel judged. And he's let me know this, and we recently even had like a 13-hour car trip together, and some of the conversations we could have, I was like tearing up under my sunglasses while we're driving, because we were speaking like two calm adults who respected one another. Yes. And that was pretty amazing considering what we'd been through.
Yes. It's very cool. And we're not going to go into what Joe's son is doing now and all the different things, but I can absolutely tell you that any parent that had him as a son would be very, very proud in all the ways that kids get to be successful in life. He is somebody that you would definitely be very, very proud of.